Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Tom Johnson begins now.
Good evening. 2 men are dead and a woman has been seriously injured after a triple shooting in Devonport in the early hours of this morning. The horrific attack witnessed by a 10-year-old boy in what police believe is an act of domestic violence.
The horror within this Devonport home was traumatic enough for senior officers.
I've viewed the body-worn camera. It's confronting.
Let alone for a 10-year-old boy who watched his mum being shot and 2 men die in front of him.
The 10-year-old is going to have some serious therapy, there's no doubt about that.
His 1-year-old sibling also in the house at the time. It was 1 a.m. when the first of 3 shots rang out on William Street. No more than 4 minutes later, silence. After murdering 1 man and leaving the mother of 2 for dead, the offender turned the gun on himself.
Very sad. But why they do it for, but that's the problem.
There was a lot of police cars coming and going. I didn't know what was going on.
After stumbling to a neighbour's home and raising the alarm, the woman in her 30s was transported to the Launceston General Hospital and underwent surgery this afternoon to remove pellets from her abdomen. She's now in a serious but stable condition. A psychologist has assessed her 2 young children who are now staying with relatives.
Obviously immediate concerns for the welfare of the children and the surviving lady.
Authorities don't yet know if the firearm was legal, but did confirm the trio were known to each other and suspect this is an act of domestic violence.
It rocks communities, it rocks us as police officers, as family members. You just never know what's going on behind a closed door sometimes.
The house is expected to remain a crime scene for the next 24 hours as investigators try to understand what led to this tragedy. As a family and a coastal community grapple with the unimaginable.
Give your kids a hug. Try and be kind to each other.
Garth Burley, 7 Tasmania News.
And if this story has caused distress, you can contact 1800-RESPECT. A 26-year-old man is now in a stable condition at the Royal Hobart Hospital after he was stabbed in Moona yesterday. Police say the man is being treated for multiple stab wounds to his upper torso and has undergone surgery. His 51-year-old housemate has been charged with causing grievous bodily harm and was due to appear in court today. A drunk driver has lost her licence for 12 months after being allegedly caught more than 5 times the legal blood alcohol limit. Police pulled over the car on Mount Leslie Road at Prospect Vale after it was seen swerving into traffic. The 59-year-old woman recorded a blood alcohol reading of 0.256. She's been charged with a string of drink driving offences and will face court at a later date. There were emotional scenes last night at Launceston Airport as the first flight from Perth touched down. The Virgin Australia plane landing just after 9 p.m, with the return leg leaving around an hour later. Tears and hugs were shed as some families were reunited for the first time since the pandemic began.
We're going to see our family for up 2.5 years. Woo-hoo!
3 return flights a week will run between the 2 destinations.
We missed one opportunity due to COVID and now we've got this direct flight, so it's just brilliant and it's a good chance to get together.
And when this flight came up, I thought, yes, go for it. And I think it's just brilliant.
The new route means northern Tasmania is now connected to every state. The state's tourism industry has gathered to acknowledge those who have gone above and beyond in these pandemic-challenged times. Last night's Tasmanian Tourism Awards recognising new businesses while also honouring those who have been a staple of the sector for decades.
Enjoying the spoils of success in tough times. The Federal Group celebrating today after scoring a hat-trick of awards at the Tasmania Tourism Awards.
A culmination of the staff's effort over the past 18 months during what's been a really hard time, and to walk away with these was just exceptional.
Their Henry Jones Art Hotel taking gold in the Cultural Tourism Award, while Hobart's Mac 1 and Sapphire at Coles Bay won in their accommodation categories.
We've worked hard to get where we are, and we're proud of what we do.
Muir's Tasmania winning top prize for its restaurants and catering efforts.
It's been a tough couple of years, and that everyone's worked so hard to achieve this.
Up north, Wookalina Walk was honoured, as was Pepper's Sailor Hotel, who secured the Business Event Venue Award.
Fantastic night for us, and again great recognition of not only the team but the support of our owners, the Stewart family.
The iconic Gordon River Cruise is recognised, also entering the Hall of Fame. PENNICOTT Wilderness doing the same in the major tour and transport category.
Look, I think it's recognition for the staff, the great job they're doing, and for our guests that come along, you know, it gives us recognition.
It was a busy night for Coal River Farm, claiming 2 gongs, while for the first time, the Royal Botanical Gardens took out the major tourist attractions category.
Hopefully we can get the team together next week. There's a lot of us and we'd like to celebrate together.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Work is officially underway on the Spirit of Tasmania's new home away from home in Geelong. Contractors have now started major works on the $135 million state-of-the-art precinct. The berth is set to include a world-first 3-level boarding ramp, allowing cars, caravans and trucks to board simultaneously. The transition to Geelong from Port Melbourne is expected to be complete in spring next year. The annual Surf Safari has seen a record number of endurance athletes take to the River Derwent for a series of action-packed races. First held in 1968, it's the longest-running surf craft event in Australia, and one man has competed almost every single year.
Half a century of races on the River Derwent.
Here we go, team. Let's hear it for John van der Wood.
Paddling to shore to officially mark his 50th finish at the Surf Safari.
Yeah, it was a kind of a bit of a typical Derwent River race. Nice downwind leg to start with for the first quarter. A bit difficult the second part. And the third part was an absolute slog.
After the first 15 years, he says the event became a tradition, now showing no sign of slowing down.
I'm never going to win it. So it's just a matter of participating and staying in front of the person behind you and trying to catch the person in front of you if you can.
The Surf Safari now in its 53rd year. Competitors on boards, boats and skis competing over a range of distances. Sam Norton winning the long course ski race for a record 7th time.
It's something I keep coming back to every year.
The highlight of the surf sports calendar for many.
Good thing to build towards at the end of the year. It's the longest race on our calendar, and there's a lot of history to it.
It's the longest running surfcraft endurance event in the country, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Competitor levels today at an all-time high.
We've got the most we've ever had, which is great being in this COVID time. We've had a lot of people take up surf paddling, surf ski paddling, so it's great to see so many people out here on the water.
Meg Sides, 7 Tasmania News.
Students in southern Tasmania have spent the day putting their problem-solving skills to the test. 180 students competing in the first Lego League, designing and coding robots and coming up with creative ideas to improve transportation.
So part of the competition is that they have to develop an innovative solution for a first world problem. This year's theme was around cargo and transportation, so they come up with ideas and ways to improve that.
We did a big innovation project called Tubes of Travel, and it was about tubes that are underneath the ground and they fly packages underneath the ground.
Seston's Lego League will be held next week. In the WBBL, the Hobart Hurricanes are currently taking on the in-form Perth Scorchers at the Wacker. Batting first, they made a solid start with the new opening pair of Rachel Priest and Naomi Stalenberg on top early on. Priest survived an early scare as they used the power play to their advantage.
It's not always the case, but as we see, another beautiful boundary.
The duo combining for 40 before Stalenberg was bowled out for 15. Priest, however, continued hitting the Scorchers bowlers all around the venue. Hobart eventually making 137 runs from its 20 overs. Perth is 2 for 29.
Good evening. It was a top of 25 in Hobart today, 23 for Launceston, a high of 18 in Devonport, and Burnie reached 16 degrees. Flinders Island and Bushy Park were 25 degrees, 23 for Grove, a top of 22 for Friendly Beaches and Strawn. King Island reached 21, 19 for St Helens, 18 in Smithton, and a high of 13 in Lyowini. A large band of cloud covered the state ahead of a cold front approaching from the west, while Australia-wide, a cloud band covered parts of Victoria and South Australia, with low-level cloud over the southern coast of WA. Tomorrow, a ridge from high west of WA extends over the Bight and down over Tasmania, and a complex trough remains over the northern half of the country and New South Wales. To the coastal waters, winds will increase up to 30 knots in the east, west and south, and the swell will reach up to 3 metres in the south and western waters. A strong wind warning is current for eastern and southern coastal waters from the northern tip of Flinders Island to Low Rocky Point, and for northwestern waters from Sandy Cape to Stanley. And a strong wind warning has also been issued for all southeast inshore waters. Looking to tomorrow's forecast, Hobart and Richmond will be partly cloudy with a top of 16, 18 degrees in Ouse, 18 with a shower or two for Launceston, partly cloudy in Devonport and possible showers for Deloraine. Mostly sunny and 19 for Burnie, partly cloudy in Strahan and Curry, and 16 degrees with wind easing in St Helens. The sun will rise at 5:50 tomorrow morning and the UV will be very high in Launceston, Burnie and St Helens. For the 3-day forecast, Monday will be partly cloudy across most of the state with some light showers about the north, scattered showers developing on Tuesday, and Wednesday will see showers statewide. For the rest of Australia, tomorrow will be 17 in Melbourne with an early shower or two, possible storms in Sydney, and showers increasing in Brisbane reaching 28 degrees. And it is currently 18 degrees in Hobart, 16 and rain in Launceston, and cloudy in Devonport. That's all in weather. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you, Tiani, and that is all your news this Saturday evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy your evening.